Oh, sorry I'm late, Faith.
Is that all you can say?
Well, I could say the barometer's rising or cod's pricey, but sorry I'm late seemed about right.
Well, it's not good enough.
All right, I'm very sorry I'm late. But I can't say more.
These potatoes were golden an hour ago.
I like them crispy.
Crispy? They're cremated.
Oh, I'm not really hungry anyway.
And the only thing worse than coming home late for dinner is to say, well, I'm not really hungry anyway.
You're looking very nice tonight, my dear.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Well, you've disagreed with everything else I've said so far. I thought I'd give that one a try.
Don't try and change the subject.
Why
Bill.
not? I'm bored with this one.
That's twice this week I've had to throw the dinner away.
Would you like some cookery lessons?
Oh, don't be funny.
I'm surprised you recognise funny.
I'll get it.
I thought you would like a nice, cosy supper for two. Obviously, I was wrong.
I didn't know you were cooking a special supper.
And you didn't think to ring.
Oh, well, I got caught up at the office and I forgot the time. I'm sorry.
Women don't.
Women don't what?
It doesn't matter how late women are. They always remember to pick up the dry cleaning and phone home.
That's probably because women are perfect.
I was going to say that.
I'm glad I stopped you.
Mom,
Yes, Joe?
Hannah's on the phone. Call box.
All right.
Ah, gallstones. We're doing them in biology.
Gallstones, they're your mother's potatoes.
Were you late in tonight, then?
Oh, a bit.
Oh, no. Now I'll have to clear up my room and she'll throw the dog off the sofa.
Why?
Don't think you're the only one to suffer, Bill.
Oh, look, she'll be all right in a couple of minutes.
No, I remember when Dad came home very late once. Mum put a casserole inside the front door. He stepped on it, skidded across the hall and knocked himself out.
I think I got off pretty lightly then.
And if Hannah was still at home, she'd tell her to turn the music down.
How's Hannah?
I couldn't hear her very well. She had her stereo on in the background.
What does she want?
She's got some friends coming round for something to eat, and she wondered what she could do with a few grotty bits of food.
You could have told her we got a few grotty bits here she could have.
Go and clear up your room, Joe.
Told you.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to throw the dog off the sofa. Save me the trouble.
Hillary, oh, what lovely roses. You shouldn't have.
Actually, I didn't. They're not a present, just my leftovers.
Oh, thought it was only the Queen Mother who donated her spare bouquets to the needy.
It's Jeremy.
What, estate agent Jeremy?
He is so attentive.
Ooh, so it would seem.
Do you know, he sends me flowers at least twice a week. My house looks like a garden centre.
Trying to approve the attractiveness of an already des res.
He's just a romantic.
A romantic estate agent, Hillary, you're delirious.
He said that everything was so well maintained.
I think you owe that to your aerobics teacher and your mother's bone structure.
Do you know, we've got really close over the last few weeks. I mean, it's too early to call it love, but I've already changed my holiday arrangements to fit in with his conference dates.
You're going to an estate agent's conference? Well, you'll be saying soon that my kitchen has scope for improvement.
Have you thought of replacement windows?
Don't get in too deep, will you, Hillary? I mean, have you thought he might just see you as another sign to be tacked on to a local gatepost?
Oh, it's not like that, Faith. He's so caring. He opens doors and he won't let me drive.
You're supposed to be liberated from all that.
Yes, I know, but I like being spoiled and rotten.
Yeah, how'd you do it?
Oh, come on, that's not fair. Now, Bill's very generous and thoughtful, isn't he?
Well, I used to think that, yes.
I mean,
but...
I've seen Bill bringing you flowers. Now, that's something that John never did.
Oh, John thought Interflora delivered margarine. It's true. In the beginning, Bill and I did have a very romantic relationship, but now I don't think he thinks about me much at all.
Oh, Faith, how can you say that? He has changed his whole life so that he can be with you.
Yes, well, perhaps that's the trouble. I don't think he's used to the idea of having someone at home he has to telephone when he's going to be late.
What, burned a few dinners, have you? Is that all?
Hillary, I've thrown away more dinners this week than we did at the school cookery class. I just don't think he sees me as a romantic figure anymore.
Well, then slip into something slinky and seduce him.
Oh, that's real desperation stuff. I couldn't do that. Even if I did try vamping about in a bit of tulle with a come-hither smile on my face, Joe'd probably come home early with half the football team.
So meanwhile, you're trying to win his heart with burnt offerings.
Well, it's easier than trying to negotiate the shag pile with 2 glasses of champagne and a rose between my teeth.
Have you thought about changing the light bulbs? I mean, Jeremy swapped mine for 25 watts in the bedroom.
No. Bill wouldn't be able to read the Witch Guide to Home Improvements.
You're just going through a bit of an anticlimax, that's all. I mean, things do calm down a bit, you know.
No, but Hillary, I don't want them to calm down. I want us to be lovers, always.
I know, it's difficult for you, isn't it, with the kids and the
Yeah,
dog
you used to
and-
bring me surprises.
You know, one day last week I came home and Jeremy had a picnic supper laid out on the rug by the fire.
Oh, he's got a key, has he? You sure he's not showing people round while you're at work?
The secretary said I'd find you here.
Fascinating places, aren't they? Lunch?
No, but I haven't got time for lunch, Richard. Look, I must talk to you.
I bought Liza a CD. John Denver. She fills up my senses.
The only thing Liza's senses is the close proximity of a Harrods account card.
Even though you're divorced, you still have feelings for her, don't you? Oh, I want to ask you a favor.
No.
I've just realized that I've invited a couple of creative people from the ad agency in for drinks after work.
Have a nice time.
And I want to get away early.
So do I.
Liza has plans for us.
I have plans for me, Richard.
I wondered if you could keep them sweet. I mean, you've got most of the ideas for the magazine relaunch anyway.
Look, I've hardly been home before 9 o'clock every night this week as it is.
But Faith understands about the demands of life in the magazine world.
Hasn't been making many demands on you lately. You've hardly been anywhere near the office.
Well, Liza's looking after a friend's cottage at Shepperton on the river.
Oh, George and Katie.
Oh, yes, of course, I forgot. You probably know them.
Yes, they have a temperamental lager.
No, we haven't been eating much. Just the odd plate of warmed asparagus.
I'm less concerned about your diet than your workload.
Lovely view, isn't it?
What is?
Or from the master bedroom over the river.
Never mind the view. What about your wife?
Oh, Marjorie and I have been married a long time. The thrill goes.
Yes, it certainly went for Liza and me.
Yeah, but remember how it was when you were first in love. The thumping heart, the rush of blood, long afternoons in bed.
That's not love, that's tonsillitis.
I'm alive for the first time in years.
Why don't you try rekindling the romance in your own marriage?
I did try. I'm not the callous Don Juan you think I am. I took Marjorie to the chop house on the bypass on Saturday. 2 for the price of 1.
And?
A contact lens fill in the soup du jour. It's not easy looking into someone's eyes when one of them is blue and the other is cream of tomato.
Liza will wreck your marriage. She wrecked mine.
When?
And I was married to her.
I can't give her up.
Can't you see? She's taking up so much of your time that your work is suffering. The staff have noticed, and I've had enough.
Really?
Yes, really.
I'll make amends.
Good.
I'll sort things out.
I'd appreciate it.
But if you could just see the ad agency tonight.
Sorry, Richard. Just explain to Liza. She'll understand.
What have you said to Richard?
None of your business.
Oh, yes, it is, if it affects my relationship with him.
Your relationship with Richard is affecting his work.
I can't help it if he runs after me.
He doesn't have to break into a stroll. You just stop and wait for him to catch up.
You're just jealous.
Don't talk rubbish.
I imagine you still feel a pang when you see me happy with somebody else.
Your imagination never did amount to much.
But don't take it out on Richard.
Liza, I knew you were insensitive, but I didn't realize that you were the Olympic champion. Richard is married.
He's not happy with Marjorie.
You mean you're not happy with Marjorie? He was perfectly happy with Marjorie till you appeared.
Oh, that's right. Blame it all on me.
I do.
I can't help being a heartbreaker.
A homebreaker.
Anyway, I'm merely providing Richard with a little recreational activity.
He can play squash with me at lunchtime if he wants recreation.
It's not the same.
I know. Squash only takes half an hour. He's been taking 2-hour lunches with you recently and then shoveling off to Shepperton halfway through the afternoon.
Oh, did he tell you I'm house-sitting for George and Katie? They've done wonderful things with their gazebo.
I don't care, Liza. I'm just trying to make you understand that you are wasting too much of Richard's time and too much of my time. He is neglecting his work because he's running around after you and people are beginning to notice.
All right, I'll try not to lead him astray during office hours.
Well, that would be a start, anyway.
But please, Bill, could you do this agency thing for him tonight?
No.
But I've bought tickets for Tchaikovsky.
Get a refund.
But it's Romeo and Juliet.
And look what happened to them.
All right, Bill.
Hello, Joe.
Hannah says I can go up and stay with her. Spurs are playing Liverpool at Anfield next weekend. Excellent timing.
What does your mother say?
She says I should go. It'll make me realise how well off I am at home, being waited on hand and foot, washing done, meals on the table.
Could be a bit squalid, you know. Hannah's probably living out of tins, no home cooking.
Oh, another good reason for going. By the way, your dinner's on the wall. Is it? Mum's not happy.
Oh, what have I done now?
You're unforgivably late and you didn't even flaming well phone.
Please, Joe, don't you start.
I'm just quoting Mum. Haven't you forgotten something?
What?
Where are the flowers?
I didn't buy any flowers.
An oversight you might live to regret.
Joe, if I am late and your mother is upset, I will explain and she will understand.
And I thought you knew Mum quite well.
So I do.
Well, you ought to know that understanding is not one of her strong points.
You shouldn't be so cynical at your age.
I'm not being cynical, I'm just making you aware of the situation. You'll walk in there and have an almighty row.
We don't have rows.
Yes, you do.
Well, they're not rows.
What are they then?
Wide-ranging discussion. Sorry I'm late, Faith.
Only an hour. You're early if you look at your recent track record.
Is the dinner ruined?
Oh, please don't worry about it. It was only crayfish souffle with asparagus tips and black truffles. I'll warm it up on toast later.
As long as it was nothing special.
And you didn't ring me again, Bill.
Well, at least I'm consistent.
And why don't you bring me flowers like Jeremy does?
I didn't know Jeremy brought you flowers.
Jeremy buys Hillary flowers. Her house looks like Kiri Tikanawa's dressing room.
Faith, come here. I was going to buy you flowers.
He said lackadaisically.
But I was so keen to get back, I didn't want to stop.
Oh, please, do me a favour. 10 out of 10 for quick thinking.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about it.
You've gone off me, haven't you?
Oh, don't be silly. Of course I haven't gone off you. It's just... Oh, it's work.
Why? What's happened?
Oh, it's this affair of Richard and Liza's.
Oh, flaming Liza again. What's it got to do with you?
Well, Richard's spending so much time with her that I'm having to do all his work as well as mine. Take tonight, for instance.
Why not? There's not much of it left.
Well, I had to stay behind and cover up for him. And I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to go on carrying like this. And people are beginning to talk.
But why didn't you tell me all this before?
You don't know what you're like every time I mention Liza.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Are you?
Yes. You see, I thought you'd gone off me. I thought you were staying late at work because you didn't want to come home.
Well, there is that as well.
Oh, come on. Let's have a glass of wine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Faith. I shouldn't have let this get to this stage. I mean, I meant to talk to you before, but I didn't think the whole thing was going to drag on like this.
And there's no sign that they're going to see sense.
I'm going to get them together for a drink after work tomorrow and make them see that I'm not joking.
Well, is there anything I could do to help? Perhaps I could talk to Richard and put Marjorie's side.
Marjorie is the last person in the world that Richard is thinking about at the moment. Anyway, that's his problem.
Maybe I could talk to Liza.
I beg your pardon?
Well, it's time we got together. If I told her how much it was affecting you, perhaps she'd listen.
I thought you couldn't wait for Liza to fall through the hole in the ozone layer.
We might even get on with each other, you never know. I expect she's a very unhappy woman.
No, she just makes other people unhappy. Well, I suppose I could introduce you if you want.
Good.
Why are you being so reasonable about this, Faith? It's not like you.
I don't know. I think it's probably because I'm so relieved that you still love me.
No, wait a minute. I didn't say that. I might have said I liked you, but let's not rush things.
Oh. You see, just because we live together, Bill, it doesn't mean to say we can stop being lovers.
Doesn't it?
No, I don't want us to get staid and take each other for granted. I want us to be excited about seeing each other, to plan little surprises, keep romance alive.
Not every night, though. Well, it's a bit tiring being constantly excited. Could I have one evening off a week to watch the snooker?
Hello, darling. Been waiting long?
Stop doing that.
It's just a kiss.
I don't want it.
How ungracious.
This is not a lover's tryst. I want to talk to you and Richard together. Where is he?
Marjorie's turned up at the office.
Has she?
Yes, it's their wedding anniversary or her birthday or something.
And he forgot.
Some women get a bit obsessive about that sort of thing.
Most women, I think you'll find.
I've never worried about birthdays.
Well, as I know, you've never admitted to having one.
Well, I'm not good at sums.
You're not bad at subtraction.
You're going to get me a drink.
Well, it hardly seems worthwhile. I mean, I want to talk to you both together.
I have a small gin and lashings of tonic. I've got my new car with me.
What new car?
It's just a little BMW.
There's no such thing as a little BMW.
Richard said I needed a company car.
Why?
In keeping with my company status.
Bit on the side? Now, look, Liza, quite
I
seriously.
remember that look. It's what I call your bank statement look.
Now, listen to me. I don't think you took in what I said yesterday about being discreet.
No,
And
I God, look at that ghastly outfit that woman's wearing. Could she think maroon would flatter that sallow complexion?
Liza, Richard's work is suffering. I am suffering. I had to make my peace with Faith.
Oh, she blames me for your working too hard, does she?
Not at all. In fact, she thought she might be able to help. She wondered if maybe the two of you should talk it over together.
How sweet.
She is not sweet.
You said it, darling.
And I thought I might be able to introduce you sometime.
Well, why not? At the very least, I could tell her about your sudden wild rage.
Oh, you really are the most aggravating woman.
Bill, quick, embrace me.
What are you doing?
Richard and Marjorie have just walked in.
So what?
She probably suspects something. It'll take the heat off if she thinks I'm having a fling with you.
No, please, stop doing that.
Hello, Richard. What are you doing?
Oh, hello, Marjorie. How are you?
Fine, Bill.
Bill and I were just having a bit of fun.
No, we weren't.
Well, it's serious for him, but I think of it as fun. Ex-husbands always carry a torch, I find.
Can I get you a drink, Marjorie?
Not sure Liza's going to let you go.
Oh, I think she will.
Ow!
I'll get the drinks. It's Marjorie's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Marjorie.
Thank you.
You're very brave.
Am I?
Most women over 40 don't celebrate, I've heard.
I'm 38.
Yes, well, I really must go, I'm afraid, and so must you, Liza.
He's so thrusting, isn't he? Won't take no for an answer. I've noticed Richard's like that, too.
Yes, well, goodbye, both. Enjoy the celebration.
Something's going on, isn't it?
I have tried to keep it from you, Marjorie.
Oh, Richard, you don't have to wrap me in cotton wool. I'm perfectly able to accept that these office romances can happen.
You are?
But I would have never have believed it of Bill. I've always thought he was about as unlikely to be unfaithful as you would be, dear.
It is hard to believe, isn't it?
He was ex-wife, too.
Now, we don't know that, Marjorie.
Thought they used to be married.
I mean, we don't know that they're having an affair.
Well, why was she kissing him and fondling him then?
Yes, I wondered that myself.
Faith, I feel sorry for.
Faith?
She'll notice the signs, of course.
Signs?
Oh, yes. Any woman whose man strays notices the signs.
What are they?
Well, according to Miriam, do you remember Miriam? Tall, thin, glasses, got the hiccups when we went to see Aspects of Love.
Yes, I do remember.
Well, when Gerald started doing evening classes in antique restoration, she never gave it another thought. It was only when it took him a year and a half to French polish a piano stool that she began to wonder what he was actually rubbing down.
Perhaps Miriam didn't give him what he wanted.
Well, she gave him a divorce. He seemed to want that.
How did you find out in the end? Did he confess?
No. He used to get Miriam mixed up with Joyce.
Look, let's forget all that. It's your birthday. I'll get you a drink.
That would be nice.
Gin and tonic, as usual.
Never drunk gin and tonic in my life.
Have you been going out with my sister long?
Oh, we're not really going out together, we're just mates.
Oh, she thinks you're going out together.
Women always want commitment.
Do they?
When they start tidying up for you, you're in trouble.
Well, Hannah's never tidied up for anyone.
She had the mop out of my place the other day.
Hannah?
She said she wanted something to do while she was waiting for the curry to cook, but I wasn't fooled. She just wanted to impress me with her domestic skills.
Hannah hasn't got any. She made a curry.
Yeah.
And you could eat it without throwing up.
Well, she's pretty good at ironing as well.
No, she's not.
Not that I need much iron, but she says she enjoys doing it.
Are we talking about the same person?
Why do you say that?
Well, none of this is normal behaviour for my sister. Now, if you'd mentioned leaving half-eaten sandwiches and clothes all around the house, I'd have recognised her.
Yeah, but I'm not complaining. Oh, yeah? I'm going for a coffee. Anyone fancy one?
Oh, yeah.
I've got this.
Did he tell you he's an Everton supporter?
We didn't talk about football.
But you can't talk about anything else.
We talked about you. He said you were the perfect housewife.
What are you on about?
I knew he got you mixed up with someone else. He said you could cook and do the ironing.
I can.
Well, you never did it at home.
Maybe I didn't want to.
He's got the right idea, Kevin. Training women.
He's not training me.
You never did my ironing.
You ain't my brother.
Don't really fancy him, do you?
Why, what's wrong with him?
Well, I think you can do better than an Everton supporter.
Ah, see, everything comes back to football.
I think he's taking advantage of you.
Oh, and you'd know, would you, with all your vast experience in life? I'll get that, it'll be Mum.
But there are dozens of students here. It could be anyone.
It'll be Mum.
Hello, Mum.
Joe, how did you know it was me?
Just a guess.
You got there all right, then?
No, I'm speaking to you from the cross-channel ferry.
How's Hannah? Living in a tip?
Well, Kevin's turned her into a domestic slave. She cleans up his place and she makes him curry.
Well, they're both studying. Can't he do his own cleaning?
She does his ironing as well. He thinks she's tidying up because she wants commitment. I think he's onto a good thing.
Well, that's ridiculous.
And he supports Everton.
Joe, let me speak to her.
Hannah! She's just coming.
Joe, did you get a ticket for the football match?
Yeah, no problem.
Good, so you definitely won't be coming home tonight.
No, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Hi, Mum.
Hannah, Joe says you're doing all Kevin's housework.
Well, I'm only doing a bit of cleaning up and cooking.
Well, can't he do his own cleaning? Good grief, he's not helpless, is he?
God, you lot are so reactionary. I suppose it's because your generation came through all the women's lib years that makes you so aggressive.
I am not aggressive, Hannah. I just don't want you becoming a slave to some man's whims.
Well, our generation will be quite happy to be kept women and have babies, but you all rushed about getting us equal rights, and now we have to have careers.
Oh, so I thought you have to have dignity and respect for yourself, not spend all your time trying to please some man.
Well, you try and please Bill.
It's a partnership of equals. Bill does his share. I certainly wouldn't bend over backwards to keep him happy. Wipe that smile off your face.
Here you are, safely delivered.
I didn't want to be delivered. I wanted to get the train.
Don't sulk, Vic. How much nicer to be chauffeured home.
If it hadn't been for your central locking system, I would have got out at Blackfriars as we agreed.
You make it sound as if I kidnapped you.
You did.
I just wanted to show off my new car to someone.
If I'd wanted a white-knuckle ride, I would have gone to a fairground. Now, would you mind unlocking the door?
Of course. I'll only stop for a few minutes.
What?
Say hello to Kate.
No.
Why not? You said you wanted to meet me.
Yes, but...
Do you think I should have warned her I was coming? She'll probably want to scrub her face and take her pinny off.
Liza, I think it would be better to meet at the office.
Oh, Bill, don't be so stuffy. I'm sure Faith wouldn't want to stand on ceremony.
Some other time.
Bill, let go of my arm. I don't think Faith wants an unseemly scuffle on the doorstep.
Okay, okay, but don't start any trouble.
Me?
Faith!
Well, I'm sure it'll be fine once you've redecorated.
Faith, it's me, and I've got someone with me.
Hardly just someone, darling. Faith, dear, it's me, Liza, your predecessor, so to speak.
Where is she?
I've been longing to meet you.
Maybe she's in the bath. Faith!
Perhaps she's doing her exercises. I'm sure she has to.
She's got to be somewhere.
I can smell Chanel number 5. Such a safe choice.
She might be round at Hillary's. We're feeding her cat.
I suppose that's one thing you can say for suburbia. Everyone rallies round, feeding cats, watering hydrangeas.
Well, she can't be far. The oven's on.
Dinner in the oven. Must be nice for you to be so regulated now. Such a change from our life together.
If you mean you never cooked me a decent meal, you're right.
I was thinking of the excitement, wondering what the evening would bring.
Knowing it wouldn't be cheap.
Are these Faith's drawings?
Yes.
Oh, she's got quite a primitive style, hasn't she? Refreshingly childlike, really.
Liza, Faith obviously is not here.
Oh, what a pity. Shall I wait?
I'll tell her you called.
Well, we must do this again sometime.
We certainly must.
Good night, darling.
Goodbye. Oh.
Champagne and this outfit, and then I heard you were someone, so I had to get in the cupboard. Who the